Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Weekly Profit Talk. We do this every single week on Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Mountain Time. That's 7:30 if you're on the West Coast, 10:30 on the East Coast. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. This week's topic is 3 key financial metrics every medical practice owner must track. So let's just go ahead and launch right into that. And I need to bring up my visual aids for you here real quick. First one, and this is not the first one. I'm so sorry. There we go. Okay, let's see. Something's going on here. Okay, there you go. And thank you for your patience. Okay, so first one, revenue per patient. This is a number that should basically be either a couple digits, maybe 3 digits in length. But if you take the gross revenue that you take by the number of patient visits, I heard numbers in the neighborhoods of the 70s, 80s, hundreds, that sort of thing. But your revenue per patient is actually a fairly standard metric in the medical field. And there are benchmark sources out there in internet land. If you are interested in finding that sort of thing based on your specialty, it does help you benchmark against the industry standards. And keeping an eye on that from month to month. And actually, it's not the worst idea to chart this. Maybe write it down in an Excel spreadsheet month by month and keep an eye on it. It can help you to identify missed opportunities, like this says. It can also highlight billing inefficiencies that could be costing you quite a bit of money. So it's a great metric to track. There's no question. Let's go on to the next one. And that would be operating profit margin. Now, this is a question that comes up with business owners all the time, not just the medical practitioners, but somebody in the coaching or consulting business will ask you, what are your margins like? And if you sit there with the 1,000-yard stare and don't know how to answer that, I'm here to help. So margin is just basically the amount of money that you make after all expenses divided by the gross amount of money that you make. So that is expressed as a percentage. And honestly, you should be in margins of a minimum of 20%. But it's possible that you run a lot leaner than that, or it's possible that you're able to actually be profitable with even thinner margins. But the thing is to track that month by month helps you to basically make decisions for your business. And I've put some examples down here. You should always have some liquid cash on hand anyway against unexpected last second expenses. We like to recommend twice your monthly expenses. So let's say, for example, you've got by the time you add up staffing at 120,000 and other administrative expenses at 30,000, 150. The idea of having $300,000 as a typical running balance in your liquid cash is not the worst idea. Now I recognize that that's quite a bit of money that's earning little to no interest, but cash is the bloodstream of your business, and you've got to keep the hemoglobin pumping through it. So, and better margins can enable several things here, as I've stated, including staff retention through competitive compensation. That's a big deal. We saw that especially during COVID. People started leaking staff when there was free money being provided by the government. And it's important to remain competitive, not only with straight compensation, but also with benefits as well. It can be difficult to keep up, but knowing what your operating profit margin is on an ongoing basis, and I would say minimally monthly, is going to enable you to make better business decisions. No question. So last one, and I'm sorry I skipped out of it. This is a big one for all of my medical practitioners that take some kind of insurance reimbursement, which is pretty much everybody. Now, if you run an all cash business, and I can think of a couple of examples that have difficulty billing insurances for what they're doing because insurance doesn't cover what they do, but it's still a legitimate specialty. Okay, but you guys are the unicorns. You are definitely in the minority. Days in accounts receivable. Basically, when you file a claim with the primary insurance company, you begin a cycle that can be maddeningly frustrating sometimes, especially if you've got a patient that actually has tertiary insurance. Everybody knows about secondaries, certainly. If you have senior patients, excuse me, then they're going to have Medicare as a primary and some kind of gap insurance as a secondary quite often. But people can have third levels of insurance, particularly married couples. Sometimes they basically double cover each other to pay as little out of cash as possible. So what that means to you is that your claim is on a journey to get paid, and it's out there in the ethereal. And uh, basically, the way to keep days in AR under control is to have a way to intelligently track your claim as it moves through its journey. If it's paid by the first insurer, it needs to get moved toot sweet to the secondary, and et cetera. Letting these things age and sit out there without action is a sure sign, not a sure sign, excuse me, but it's a sure recipe for longer days in AR and lower cash flow. Aging receivables, mentioned some potential downsides. Your collection likelihood actually can drop dramatically with each passing day. That's statistically proven. So cash flow, I just mentioned that. Cash flow is the lifeblood of your business, and without it, you're sunk. So you don't have cash until somebody actually pays you, and days in AR is certainly a very important metric to measure that. So, and of course, administrative costs can go up as your team says, spending time running around trying to get money from other folks. So these things are all legitimate reasons why days in AR is one of your critical metrics to track in your medical practice, of course. So those three key financial metrics, again, let me wrap up on this as revenue per patient, or RPP, operating profit margin, and days in accounts receivable, or days in AR. So I hope you found this information helpful. If these are the sort of things that you already know, but you've mentoring somebody new in another practice, or have a relative, et cetera, and you think they might find this useful, let them know that we do jump on here and we talk about the things that affect the bottom line of your medical practice every single Wednesday. And again, that is 7:30 West Coast, 10:30 East Coast, 8:30 here in the Rocky Mountains. And if you're in Chicago or the center of the country, of course, that'd be 9:30. So we will be back next week. So until then, have an amazing rest of your day, a great weekend. And if you do have a chance, do something randomly kind for a stranger today. So with that, so long.